So I thought for today's story, since I'm traveling, I've actually had this makeup on since, I don't want to be fibbing. Let's see, we left at 9:30, so I've had it on since 8:30 this morning, and now it's, I don't know, 5 p.m. That sounds about right. But I wanted to take it and refresh it. Now it's not a day to night situation, because I know that this wing is pretty intense. So we're not acting like it's day to night, but I'm going to show you how I kind of refresh and layer on top of what I already have. So I know normally the first thing that we want to reach for is powder. No, we're not going to do that, because if I put powder on top of anything that might have lifted throughout the day, what's that going to do? It's not going to become friends. It's going to be like, it's going to be cakey. Cakey is the word that comes to mind. So the first thing we're going to do is lose what I'm looking for. This is my one I take with me when I travel. We're going to just go ahead, hydrating mist, reactivate. Now, before we add any more product, I'm going to take a short, dense brush, and I didn't have any creasing, but a good idea is to just kind of make sure everything's nice and flat. What is that noise? Do keep in mind, Ben is back there somewhere doing something I don't even know. But wherever you feel like makeup might have moved, lifted, give it a nice little smooth over with a dense brush. And by the way, I have on my Kiko, there he is. I told you he's gonna be back there creeping. But I have my Kiko Milano double, what are these? Unlimited Double Touch shade. Which one is the one I wear? 112. That's what I have on. And then I have on Makeup Forever Artist Color Lip Liner in Caffeine something. Yeah, Anywhere Caffeine. That has been on, and I've eaten everything and I've drank everything. So I'm telling you, these are legit. Now that everything is still nice and wet, we're gonna grab our concealer, and I'm just gonna add more. I know this sounds so scary, but it's absolutely not. Think about this the way that you would models at Fashion Week. A lot of times makeup just gets added to, and as an artist, you kind of learn how to reactivate, manipulate makeup, kind of just bring everything back and use what's already there. This is such an amazing tip. Let's grab our D2 wherever we need that more coverage, and we need things to be smoother. We're going to use this side. Oof, I already feel better. By the way, I had on just the 𝗕𝗘𝗧𝗬, which is not as, obviously it's not full coverage like this one, or I should say as much coverage. So I just had that on, and then I had some powder on. So we are going on top of powder. I know it feels wild. It feels wrong, but it can be done. Okay, and then once we get here, we'll use that fluffier side. And then we'll, around my lips, I want to use this side for more control. That just melts in. Oh, little hair. Still no powder. I'm gonna grab my bronzer. I'm gonna add some more of this. Ooh, melty, melty. I just love the way, this is my favorite bronzer at the moment, but I just love the way that it melts onto the skin. And I love the way that it kind of meshes with wet products, because I'm just putting this, like I said, on top of that wet base underneath, and I never have issues. I'm gonna add a little bit more eyeshadow too, but we're not there yet. Make sure we're transitioning that. Look how pretty that is. Down the neck. So I have the Armani liquid shadow on from this one, not that one. I'm gonna use that one in a second. We're not there. The 18M, the one that I always use, the one that matches my skin tone. Me trying to explain it to you. You know, at this point, it's probably just easier to draw you a picture than find it in my little makeup bag. Which my makeup bag is not anything special. I know y'all are gonna ask. There it is, 18M. Okay, yeah, I should have drew a picture. But I bought this, okay? This looked perfect for what I want, especially when I'm traveling. And Natasha Denona has one of the best black eyeshadows on the market, in case you're looking for a black eyeshadow. So I'm just going to push that into the socket, and remember that spray, it's even kind of reactivated our eyeshadow. So it's really just delightful. And now we're resetting it right now because we're using powder eyeshadow. So easy. Where is Sheila? There's Sheila. Don't worry, Sheila travels. She goes everywhere with me. Okay, I'm taking the same shade. These are so good. I think you should get this palette if you're looking for a really tiny, it's so little, but it just packs such a good makeup punch. And it's just, it fits perfectly. It's perfect for travel. I just love it. And then I'm gonna take the lighter shade and highlight my brow bone. I do just a hair sculpting with that shade. Grab it in the middle of this brush, and since this one's more flat, you can just kind of push it into your socket, and then you can fill around, and then the fibers aren't just fraying, so you have a lot more control. See how they're staying really nice and tight, but you're still able to get a really nice blend even by tapping in the crease. And then once we have it kind of placed, I'll just tilt my head back a little bit and use the side of it just to smooth it upwards. Perfect. I think we'll do a little whisper of that shade underneath here as well. But notice how I'm not coming from this way. We could have fallout. No matter what eyeshadow, it can happen. And by holding it like this, all of that, if there is loose shadow, I'm picking up such a small amount, but it's not worth risking it. So from coming underneath like this, the shadow can only go where you're placing it and then into the brush. So it's not gonna fall down here on our concealer. Okay, so now I have this. If this is back in stock, we sold it out. We are out of control. We, and I say we, not like, oh, I made it sell out. No, I went and bought one too. I bought it back up. We're out of control, but it's worth it. Look at this. Just a whisper, and you can wear it really intensely champagne like that, see? Or you can just do it as a nice little whisper like I'm doing. I think it's actually back in stock. All right, so I have on, I can't show you, it's the secret powder. I know y'all are so sick and tired, but it's only a little bit longer. Okay, I'm actually holding it over here. I try to be really mindful. I'm always so afraid to show stuff that's not launched. By the way, I've had my brows on. Everything you see I've had on and have not retouched. This is my first retouch. I'm actually gonna grab the powder on a fluffier brush. Actually, I'm just gonna grab it on this. Let's grab it on the D1. Grabbing that powder, the secret one, I'm just gonna soften in there a little bit. And then everywhere else that I want just a veil of powder, I'm gonna use this side. Nice. Now we're setting. We're setting the rehydration, all of that. And boy, are we blurring. Ooh, y'all ain't ready for this powder. I'm gonna take a little powder foundation, my Bare Minerals that I love so much. And then C30, and I'm just gonna make sure that my lip line is nice and tidy. I feel like this makes a difference, such a difference on looking refreshed. The lip line is something I see so neglected. And if you really just take a little extra time with it, it makes everything look so polished. Nice. This stuff, it got a lot of side eye. We'll just put it that way. This is the MAC Lash Dry Shampoo. I love this stuff. It basically reactivates the mascara that you already have on without being clumpy. And obviously you can see, I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. I love this stuff. And it's not a gimmick. It's something that's always in my travel bag. Now at home, I don't do touch-ups. But if I'm traveling, I'm doing some touch-ups, so it's really good. So I bought this blush a while ago, and I like it when I travel. I feel like this is my favorite hourglass, how do I want to say it? Between the blushes and the bronzers, this is my favorite. So this one is Sublime Flush, and I actually like to first apply it with the more diffused side. If I didn't already have blush on, which I have this on, I'm just adding a little bit more. But if I wanted it more intense, which I'll just do. Why not? Who cares? We all know I have blush blindness. We have fun. We just use the more dense side, and then we diffuse those edges. I'm gonna put a little here, and I'm gonna put a little bit here too. And the reason we do this is because the sun would naturally hit there, so it just makes your bronzer look a little bit more truly sun-kissed. I'm gonna take out my blowout rods, and I'm ready. I think we're gonna go get some sushi. That sounds so good. Whee! I just had that in for 30 minutes. Just a little refresh. All right, I hope that y'all enjoyed this. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but that's enough. So much better. Just nice and soft and refreshed, and I promise you, it does not feel heavy. It's all about knowing how to layer, rehydrate, and then relayer. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed my little touch-up video. I thought it'd be fun to do since I am traveling. But yes, as always, thank you so much for being here, and I love you very, very much. And we'll see you in the next one.